Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So after it was revealed that Vasyl Lomachenko, he turned down the biggest payday of his career, or what would have been, to fight Shakur Stevenson. And when Bob Arum was asked about Lomachenko turning down the Shakur Stevenson fight, Bob, he completely defended Lomachenko, saying that Loma, he wants to take some time off and he's thinking about going back to war, going back to the Ukraine because the Russians are closing in on his home city.
Lomachenko is walking about fighting this year. He wants to take time off. The situation is still going on in
Ukraine,
and it's come close to where he lives with all the bombing of Odessa. So really he can't get focused on fighting. I don't think it has anything to do with Shakur.
I don't think it has anything to do with Shakur Stevenson. That's what Bob Arum said. Meaning, it has nothing. His decision, Lomachenko's decision, it has absolutely nothing to do with how good Shakur Stevenson is. It has nothing to do with the fact that Lomachenko feels that he could possibly lose that fight. This is what Bob Arum is saying. But it's so ironic, though, because when it came to him talking about Shakur Stevenson, or maybe I should say Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson, this is when Bob Arum decides to say he believes the reason why Devin Haney didn't take the fight, it had everything to do with Shakur Stevenson. When it comes to Devin Haney fighting Shakur Stevenson, Bob Arum, he says he believes Devin Haney didn't take that fight because he's in fear that he might end up losing to Shakur.
I don't think Haney was particularly anxious to fight Shakur because it's frankly probably a fight that Shakur is going to win. So Haney is better off fighting at 140, where his body is calling for, because it's more and more difficult for him to make the 135 limit.
Now, for you guys that don't know, shortly after Devin Haney beat Lomachenko, he went to go meet up with Bob Arum at his office, him and his dad. They met up to obviously talk about future opponents. The Haney said that Bob Arum was mainly pushing for a Lomachenko rematch or even a fight against Teofimo Lopez, the winner of Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor. Now, first of all, why would Bob Arum even be pushing for a Lomachenko fight if he just said when it comes to a Shakur Stevenson fight that Lomachenko, he was going to take some time off and he was going to be unavailable? Bob Arum, he never even mentioned the Shakur Stevenson fight. In fact, it was the Haneys who had to bring up Shakur Stevenson's name. This was right after Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, they attended the same party, and Shakur Stevenson, he had someone put a sign up saying that Devin Haney signed the contract. Devin Haney had his meeting with Bob Arum like a couple days after that happened. So during the meeting, Devin Haney, he says to Bob Arum, he says, "Hey, what's going on with Shakur Stevenson telling us to sign a contract? Where's this contract at?" Bob Arum says to the Haneys, "I don't know what Shakur is talking about. Fighters don't send out contracts." And that was all that Bob said about the fight. So it's amazing to now hear Bob Arum say he thinks the reason why Devin didn't take the Shakur Stevenson fight is because he was in fear that he would lose. Regardless if he's saying he would lose because of weight issues or whatever. The fact that he's saying that he feels that Devin basically avoided Shakur to prevent a loss on his record. That's what he's saying. But if that would have been the case, the WBC would have stripped Devin Haney of his title and they would have gave it to Shakur Stevenson, meaning Shakur wouldn't even have to fight in a title eliminator or fight for the vacant belt. The WBC would have handed the belt to Shakur Stevenson just like they handed the belt to Devin Haney when Devin Haney was Vasyl Lomachenko's mandatory like 3 years ago. Just like they handed the belt over to Jamal Charlo when Jamal Charlo was Canelo Alvarez's mandatory and Canelo refused to fight him. That's what happens when you turn down a fight, when you turn down your mandatory and you're the champion. And the reason why that didn't happen, because unlike the Canelo, Charlo, and the Lomachenko-Haney situation, in this situation, it was actually the mandatory Shakur Stevenson who turned down the fight. And this is something that Shakur Stevenson himself admitted. Whenever you have a champion and you have a mandatory, if the two fighters cannot come to an agreement, it automatically goes to a purse bid split. And Shakur Stevenson did not agree with the actual purse bid split. That's why the fight didn't happen. At the end of the day, we know that when it comes to Devin Haney, he was never really a top-ranked fighter. He was really just a free agent that had to sign this 2 or 3 fight deal just to get the opportunity to fight for Undisputed against George Kambosos. We know that when it comes to Bob Arum, he loves Lomachenko to death. He said that Lomachenko was better than Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Floyd Mayweather. His exact words were, none of them compares to Vasyl Lomachenko. And Devin Haney, he comes over there to Top Rank and he beats Bob Arum's favorite fighter. So it's understandable that Bob Arum would say something like that. All I can say to Bob is, I feel your pain. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Decay Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodecay.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.
NWA Connie Corsos proudly presents the Southern Classic Litter. The breeding between Scandafio's Rambo and NWA's Nyla is confirmed, and pups will be here within 30 days. Get ahead of the pack by getting your application in at NWAConnieCorsos.com. Our pups come with a 24-month health guarantee. Contact us on any platform at NWA Connie Corsos. We stand behind our dogs.
Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.
My name is Chris, and I'm all the way here from Anchorage, Alaska at Scalp Carolinas, and I'm here for my second treatment of SMP. Well, I was sitting at home one day and going over my Facebook page, and they have different, like advertisements popping up, and I saw one for SMP, and I saw some pictures of some guys, before and after, and I was looking at that, and it caught my attention, so I Googled it. SMP, nothing showed up in my area. So, I did a little more research, and all of a sudden, Scalp Carolinas popped up in the web browser. So I started watching his videos and seeing all the reaction from all the other people. We talked on the phone, we made appointments and everything. I sent him pictures, and he looked at them, and I was like, can you fix this? And, he pretty much said, no problem. My first session, he made me feel extremely comfortable. It was almost like I was talking to family. He started, and during the whole treatment, we talked and, about our families and our life and, and things that he does and things that I do. And before I know it, the first session was over. When you see someone doing something that they love, as much as I see Enoch Glover love what he does, it shows in his work. I wouldn't point anyone in any other direction but here to North Carolina, Scalp Carolinas, to get this done.